All right, we are going to begin. Welcome everyone to our reopening town hall. Today marks 1 year since we closed schools last year, which is just amazing. We've come full circle and now we're reopening next week. And students, we are so excited to see you again in person. Just hasn't been the same. So thank you for coming in and really volunteering to start us off in reopening schools. So let's begin. And we are celebrating Women's History Month. So we're going to highlight some of the wonderful activities that have been happening. Middle school students, if you haven't been attending some of the Women's History Month activities, we totally encourage you to come. I participated in a Blue Table talk this past week. That was just an amazing conversation. So we really encourage you to participate. Morgan, if you want to continue. So if you are following us on Instagram, you'll know that we are celebrating Women's History Month. We have many activities planned. So I encourage you to take the leap and come out and engage in some of the activities. They've been really awesome. As you're aware, we have our virtual norms, and those will continue in our meeting today. Please make sure your screen's on, that you're really engaging. Today is going to be a lot of information, and so we want to make sure you're very clear when you come in next week what our expectations are. So make sure that you are fully engaging, your video's on, and if you have questions, we'll have opportunities for you to ask your questions. This is a look at our agenda. We're going to talk about health and safety, technology, what your classrooms are going to look like, and then Mr. Davidson is going to talk about our school culture. But first, just some upcoming dates so you're aware of what's happening. So on Tuesday, we'll begin reopening, and some of you will come in Tuesday, and then some of you will come in Wednesday. There's an A group and a B group, which we'll go over today. For the next 2 weeks, you will have in-person school 2 days a week. And then March 29th, we have spring break and no school. And then after that, we're actually offer virtual instruction just to make sure everyone's safe and we can test everyone before we return. And then the end of the report period is April 23rd. So keep these dates in mind. We'll remind you along the way, but I wanted to make sure you had a picture of how we're ending this report period. Now we're going to turn it over to some of our leadership team members so you can match their name to their face. And then some folks will introduce themselves along the way. So I'm going to turn it over to our leadership team for some quick introductions.
Good morning, middle school, 8th grade. It's great to see you guys again. And obviously 7th grade, I'm very excited to see you guys for the first time in person. I am Miss Johnson. I am one of the assistant principals of instruction. You've probably seen me popping into your Zoom room over the last several months, but I primarily support your amazing math and science teachers. Again, cannot wait for next Tuesday to see you guys in person, give some virtual hugs. I'm going to turn it over to Mrs. Walsh.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Mrs. Walsh. I'm one of the assistant principals of instruction as well. So Ms. Johnson and I have the same role, but I work with your English teachers and your history teachers. I so look forward, particularly to the 7th graders, to meeting you guys. I won't be back in the building just yet, but you will still see me in your Zoom rooms. And when the day comes that I get to meet you, I'm very excited about it. So I hope you guys have a wonderful first day back on Tuesday or Wednesday, whichever is yours.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Miss Biondi. I'm an apprentice school leader of instruction, and I work mostly with math and science teachers. And I'm so excited to meet all of you in person. It's been really awesome meeting you all on Zoom so far, but I can't wait to be in the building.
Good morning. It's so nice to see you. I'm super excited as a new assistant principal at LimFest to be able to meet you in person next week. So I look forward to that. I'm the assistant principal of specialized services. So we make sure that if you have any learning needs that they are met. So we look forward to making sure that happens in person as well. And I'll turn it over to Pace.
Hi, middle school. It's so nice to see all your faces. I'm super excited to get to see you guys in person next week. And like Ms. Hester said, I work with her for student support. So if you guys need any learning help, you feel free to reach out to myself or Ms. Hester. So I'll see you guys next week.
Awesome. Thanks so much, guys, for introducing yourselves. I'm now going to turn it over to Miss Morgan to present on health and safety, our number one priority.
Hi, everyone. It's so good to see you. I am Miss Masharlette. I am the assistant principal of school operations. So some of you know me, some of you are new to the building, but nonetheless, I'm super excited to have you all back. I'm going to be going over health and safety, which I'm sure you are aware is our number one priority as we work towards getting you all back into the building. And I apologize in advance if it's a little loud. There's a lot of construction happening to make sure that we're ready to go for Tuesday. So just for a little bit of context, since last May, we've had a bunch of teachers and administrators working together to make sure that we are super safe and ready to go. We have used CDC and the Department of Public Health and CHOP to really inform our decisions here and make sure that every decision we make is based on data and based on what guidance we're given. So I want to go over some of the non-negotiables that are essential. So for you all, for students and staff alike, all of these things need to be in place at all times. So first, distancing. All desks are going to be 6 feet apart. You'll see little stickers on each desk. That way you'll know exactly where to sit. Every class will have less than 10 students. So there'll be tons of space for you to spread out. Your teachers will have a little plexiglass barrier and a box around their table. So the expectation is that no one's going in the teacher box, and we do that on purpose to make sure that everyone can maintain safety and stay super safe. And lastly, we will be sending out and giving you lots of verbal reminders if you happen to get too close to people. Again, we're not trying to be mean, but we are trying to keep everyone safe, which is our number one priority. The second thing is masking. So most of you will take public transportation to school. So please make sure that you have a mask on when you leave your house. Your mask should cover both your nose and your mask. So the science shows that it's not effective if it's not covering both your nose and your mask. If you forget your mask or if your mask breaks during the day, we have KN95 masks available. But again, it's very important that you are bringing your own, especially if you're traveling outside and on public transportation. We want to make sure that you stay safe, but also that everyone else in the building stays safe. You will see in our hallways, we have tons of hand sanitizer stations. Every one of your teachers will have hand sanitizer stations. Your teachers will also go over what it means to transition in classes, and teachers are going to stop teaching about 5 minutes early so that we can spray desks and wipe off, because we are still transitioning. So it's super important that you thoroughly wipe down your space. So if in the event someone does get COVID, it's not spread. And lastly, anytime you use the restroom, please make sure you're washing your hands for 20 seconds. Sometimes they say to sing happy birthday twice. I know that's a practice that I use. Just make sure that you are regularly doing that every single time that you use the restroom or you touch things. So weekly COVID tests, we are very lucky. We are, Mastery has been given a huge grant to make sure that we can really reduce in-school transmission. So there's been a lot of studies that show that schools that do weekly COVID tests, actually it's a 60%, more than a 60% reduction of transmission of COVID. So of course, testing is optional, but it is highly recommended. If your family has not filled out the online consent form, that is mandatory. So if your family is if you are consenting, so that means you are agreeing to allow us to give you a COVID test each week, you need to fill it out. And if your family is not agreeing, you also have to fill it out and click the do not consent. Again, we highly recommend that if you're coming into the building, you are taking a weekly COVID test. We are facilitating all of it. It's not the nose swab. We're actually doing saliva, which we will go into greater detail later on exactly how you do that. It's super easy, quick, painless, and then you get results 48 hours later. So a little bit more on that, the way it'll work is on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, we have additional nursing staff. They're going to pull folks out of classes one at a time. So it will be independent. You don't have to worry about any other student around you or your teachers around you. You'll be in the hallway. You get to turn away from the testing administrator. You will generate saliva in a vial test tube. Many of you have already done so with me on Monday. But this practice will happen every single week because you could walk outside and interact with someone and someone could have COVID. So it's super important that we do this every week, not just once. So you will do it on Tuesdays or Wednesdays, depending on what days you're assigned here. If you happen to be absent, you will take it on Thursday or Friday. And again, results will be about 48 hours later, you will get them. And you can assume that your test is negative unless you hear from me. So I will reach out if your test comes out inconclusive, which means we need a little bit more saliva or a positive test. But please keep in mind, your information will be 100% confidential. So that means I will not tell anybody. Your name and your identity will not be shared, but we will reach out to you if it is a positive test. And if you all have questions on this, you can put them in the chat and we will get back to you on that at the end. I also want to be super clear and let you know that Mastery is doing a really great job being transparent. So that means we are not hiding it when folks get cases. So you can actually go on this website here and check and see what schools have had positive cases. And schools are taking every safety measure after we get a case back, if there is a positive case, to really make sure that we're keeping the rest of the school safe. Just some other things that Mastery has done to ensure your safety. We have spent $4 million on ventilation and air filtration. So that means that the quality of air is really conducive for making sure that we're not confining germs in one spot. So air is flowing very well. Windows that open will be open. We have made sure that we have really upgraded this building so that every single room is ready to go and can ensure the most safe environment for you all. And this is very, very important. So if you wake up and you have any of these symptoms, you should not come to school. We want to make sure that everyone stays safe. So if you're not feeling well, it is critical that you stay home. Again, if you're sick, we would rather you do school at home or rest and feel better than come to school when you're under the weather. If you have these symptoms, we will have to have you go to our quarantine room and we will reach out to your family to come pick you up because we want to make sure that you are healthy and safe, but also make sure that everyone else in this building is also safe. So again, if you have these symptoms, you should stay home, rest, feel better, reach out to the school and let us know that you're staying home, but you should not come to school and travel on the subway if you are under the weather. Couple quick things. So the folks that are here, that means you've chosen the hybrid model. So that means you are coming to school 2 days a week and the other 3 are virtual days. So your Monday will stay asynchronous and the other 2 days you'll follow your normal schedule. The 2 cycle days that you're assigned, so that's either Tuesday, Thursday, or Wednesday, Friday, you will come into the building. Please make sure you are only coming on the days that you're assigned. If you don't know your days, this is a great opportunity for you to call the front desk today and reach out. And we can get that for you. Your advisory teachers also have a list of kids that are A day and B day, so you can reach out to them as well.
And Morgan, we're going to share those lists later in the presentation.
Perfect.
So we'll actually share and you can take a picture or remember, and then we'll share your actual schedule later in the presentation.
Great, that is the best. You may switch from hybrid to virtual. So you come a couple of days and you decide that for whatever reason you would rather stay home and do school, that is an option. That is questions I get often. That is an option. However, folks that have decided virtual cannot switch to a hybrid option because I have really strategically made sure class sizes are small. And if folks are trying to come in the building after the fact, it will change those numbers, which we can't have. So if for whatever reason you decide to change to a virtual model, it's critical that you reach out to the front desk team so that we can change your code in our system, and also let your teachers know. Okay, that is all for health and safety. Please feel free to put any questions in the chat. I'll give it about 2 minutes of wait time. If anyone else on the leadership team or staff wants to chime in on things, this is a great time. And then I will go into student technology expectations. Okay, I'm not seeing any movement in the chat. I'm going to keep moving. We can always revisit. If you have questions after the fact, please feel free to reach out. My email is in my little Zoom name, and I do that on purpose so that folks can reach out to me if you need me. All right, so now student technology expectations. This is super, super important because I'm about to preview what items you need to bring every single day that you're in the building. Okay, so every single day, 4 critical things. You need your fully charged laptop. So something I do every night, I charge my phone, I charge my computer just to make sure that it's 100% charged. You also want to bring your charger because guess what? We're on it all day. They die. It's a reality. So you want to bring your charger so that we can charge them during the day. Your case. You should have gotten a case when you got a computer. If you didn't get a case, I'm fairly certain we have some extras and I want to make sure that everyone has that. Something really important is oftentimes computers break when kids transition and when we're traveling. So it's super important that you're either putting your computer in the case or in your backpack when you transition. Mastery has been really amazing at replacing broken screens and computers. However, if you have already received a replacement, you will have to pay $250 for the next one because Mastery is paying the bill and we can't continue to give folks 2 and 3 and 4 computers. So again, if it breaks once, we understand it's unfortunate, you will get a replacement. However, beyond that, it will be $250 to replace. And then headphones are also important. Some of your classes will be via Zoom because some of our teachers are working from home. So in that instance, you're gonna have headphones in so that you can stream the lesson when you are working from home, when they are working from home. So yes, these 4 things: fully charged computer, your charger, your case, and your headphones.
In addition to this, you'll have all your supplies for class: textbooks, books, any pencils or paper that you need, your art kit. We're going to review all of that later in the presentation, but this is just the technology piece of what you need to bring to school. Make sure you're bringing this every day.
Yes, great clarity. Thank you. Okay, a few frequently asked questions. So first, in the rare event that you forget your computer, let's try not to make that a habit, but it could happen. What happens? So when you walk in, you will be asked if you have your computer and you will receive a loaner computer from our tech team. Those computers will have a huge sticker on it and your last period teacher will be collecting them at the end of the day. It is essential that those computers are given back because then we won't have loaner computers to give out if we don't get those back. So again, it is an expectation that you're bringing your computer every day, but in the event that you forget it, which can happen, we will provide a loaner computer. If your computer loses charge throughout the day, so this is an adjustment. I have decided to give each classroom a extension cord. And if your computer's running low, what's really, really important is that you predict and you're looking and you're monitoring your charge. So you shouldn't reach out to your teacher when you have 1% battery, right? When you're at about 15%, it's a great time to reach out to your teacher and say, hey, my computer has about 15% battery. I think it's going to need a charge soon, because that gives your teacher time to make some seating adjustments and figure out a solution. And lastly, if you're having any type of tech or computer issue, you should follow the exact same protocol that you've had, which is to email homesupport@masteryk12.org. That is all I have in terms of student technology. If you have any questions, again, feel free to put them in the chat. You may unmute yourself, and we will try our best to answer them.
Awesome. Thanks, Ms. Mascherette. Let's continue on with what classes are actually going to look like. When you come to school, what is it going to look and feel like in your classroom? Please continue to the next slide. So you will be in something called simultaneous teaching, meaning you're going to be in the same classes you are now, but you'll just be in person or you'll be virtual. So the same students that are in your classes now will be in your classes when you're in person or virtual. It'll be the same experience. And again, as Ms. Mascherette said, you'll be at LenFest 2 days a week and at home 2 days a week for instruction. And then Monday is for independent learning. Continue. This is the hybrid A schedule. So momentarily you will see if you're in the A group. On Monday, you'll be home. On Tuesday, you'll be at LenFest. Wednesday, you'll be home. Thursday, you'll be at LenFest. And Friday, you'll be at home. And when you're at home, you're going to participate the same way you are now, right on Zoom, same thing. So that should be very clear to you. So which students are in A? So these are the 7th graders that are in the A group. Look for your name now. And remember that. Write down that letter so you're aware. Next slide, please. And this is the 8th grade A group. Again, take a picture, write it down, look for your name. Now this is the B schedule. Same thing, but the opposite. Monday, you're home, independent work. Tuesday, you're home on Zoom. Wednesday, you're at LenFest. Thursday, you're home at Zoom. And Friday, you're at LenFest. So same thing, opposite days. 7th graders in the B group. All right, Miss Morgan. 8th graders in the B group. Now, if your name was not on these lists, you need to reach out to our front desk team because you're not enrolled in hybrid instruction. So reach out to make sure we have clarity, but your name should be on these lists for hybrid instruction.
Sorry, technical difficulty. I was trying to respond to something in the chat.
Okay, no problem.
Here we go.
We're going to go on to the next slide. So one thing that I want to be very clear about is that at least 2 of your teachers in each grade will be working from home. And so that's an allowance that we're giving to those teachers. So for those particular classes only, we're going to ask that students work in the gym. And we will put you on Wi-Fi, you'll have headphones on. It'll be very much like you're working at home, but you'll be in the cafeteria. Our cafeteria right now will hold up to 50 students with 6 feet of spacing. So we don't believe we'll have as many students in there for those classes, but we do have the capacity. And again, for 2 of your teachers in each grade, we will have classes in the cafeteria. Lunch will also be in the cafeteria. So lunch is the only time when you're going to take your masks off to eat your food. You'll be sitting at one of these desks as you're eating lunch. So we're going to continue to have 6 feet social distancing at lunch. But again, you will be able to remove your mask to eat your lunch. what do we expect from you? So Miss Mascherette talked about the technology stuff you need to bring to school, your computer, your headphones, your charger, your case. You also need to bring your textbooks. So many of you have a math textbook that looks very similar to this. We should see that every day. Your novel. So if you're reading a novel in your English classes, you should bring that every single day so that we can use it. If you're in Miss Marcucci's classes and you have an art kit, bring it to school so you're prepared and ready to go. And if there are other supplies that you need to do your best throughout the day, please make sure you're bringing those each and every day. Teachers, are there any additions to this list that you feel like would be helpful for your students? Feel free to unmute yourself.
Make sure you have a book bag.
A book bag, yeah. Don't just carry all this stuff. Make sure you're carrying your book bag. We won't have lockers, so you'll have to carry your stuff in your book bag or in your hands throughout the day from class to class.
Also, just, I know we said it, but your mask, make sure you put that on your list. You bring that like you bring your backpack, bring your mask.
100%, definitely. All right, we can continue. All right, and I'm gonna, I think, turn it over to the middle school teachers to talk about classroom entry and classroom dismissal. Or I can do it. Why don't I do it? So when you enter your classrooms during the day, hold on one sec. If everyone could mute themselves, thank you. When you enter classrooms, so you're going to transition from class to class, you know, in a safe way, but it's going to look similar to what we did before. But when you enter a class, first off, you're going to sanitize your hands. So there's going to be a station for you to sanitize your hands in every classroom. You're going to walk directly to your assigned seat. You're going to get your laptop out. You're going to log into Nearpod and Schoology. So that's going to be your routine every single day. You're going to place your backpack next to your desk, and you're going to take out all your materials. So the easiest we can do this, the more smooth everything is going to be. Because remember, your teachers are still logging into their virtual classes. They're doing everything they need to do for everyone at home. So we need you guys to really commit to this process as you're entering every single class. And then once you leave class, you're going to put your materials in your backpack, and your teachers are going to give you some extra time to do this. You're going to wipe your seat and your desk area. So your teachers are going to provide you with supplies, sanitizer and wipes to make sure you can do that. And you need to wipe down your table and your chair. You need to do that to prepare for the next person, just like you want the next person to prepare for you. So please make sure you're taking that responsibility. You're going to stand at your table and wait until you're dismissed, and then you're going to throw your wipe out as you leave the classroom, okay? The better we can do this, the easier everything is going to be. We want this to be a very quick and easy routine, but this is going to keep us really, really safe. And your teachers and the leadership team and the culture team are really going to assist to ensure we get into a real habit around this routine. And now I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Davidson to talk about our last part around school culture.
Good morning, everybody. How we doing today? All right. Some waves, some thumbs up. We all right? Happy Friday. All right. As you heard, I think I wanted to just touch on we are culture. But I think I'd be remiss to not mention, like, really, like you live through history. Like, you really think about it, you live through history. Like, so a pandemic, first time in 100 years. And this is the day that it was announced. I was in the lobby when Mr. Zimmer told me when the email came out right after lunch. And here we are a year later to date, coming back to school. So good to see you all. Again, We Are Culture is made up of you as parents, students, and families. So excited to see you all. Looking forward to it. Teachers are excited. We've been talking about it for the last 2 weeks and really longer. But again, I'm excited to see you all return. So hopefully you're retaining this information. You're receiving a lot of information. So again, any questions you have, please feel free to reach out to those individuals, your teachers, or those you have relationships with, and we'll actually, definitely get an answer for you. Next slide, Mrs. Zim, please. Or Morgan. There we go. So I'm going to come on, ask the deans to come off mute as I go through our deans and who we're on our team, because you've seen some of them via Zoom, but you haven't seen them face to face. We work hard and play hard as a team. So again, I'm gonna start off with Ms. Tyler, our attendance coordinator, who's probably heard from her regarding attendance.
Good morning, everybody. Mrs. Tyler, I am the attendance coordinator. Any absentee notes that you have, any attendance concerns, feel free to reach out to me as well as the deans. They can also send me that information as well. It's nice to see you all. Welcome back.
Thank you, Ms. Tyler. Then we'll start with the second floor, Mr. Beverly.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Mr. Beverly. Some of you may know me already because you may have emailed me or you've got something from Kickboard or from the Kickboard store. I also coach middle school girls basketball. So for some of you seventh graders, hopefully next year, you can sign up, join the basketball team, come out, have a good time.
Thank you, Mr. Beverly. Mr. Lay.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Mr. Lay. If you don't know me, that's your loss. But without further ado, nice to see you all. Looking forward to welcoming you back into the building. I hope everyone is staying safe. And I'll see you in a bit. Thank you, Mr. Davis. Thank you.
Welcome. Then I'm going to go to the deans on your floor, who will be your first point of contact on your floor as you return middle school students. So we have Ms. Stanton.
Good morning, middle school. It's Miss Stanton. Many of you know me already, so welcome back. I also do zones, and me and Mr. Lay also do your Instagram page.
Thank you, Ms. Stanton. And then last but not least, Ms. Hinton.
Good morning, everybody. Good to see you here. Looking forward to seeing you in person. We've made some relationships with some of you, and we want to strengthen those relationships and build on ones that we already have with those who are returning from last year as well.
Awesome. Thank you, Ms. Hinton. And then I'm Mr. Davidson, again, assistant principal of school culture. I've been here some time, head football coach and athletic director as well. So excited to see you all. So let's begin. Next slide, Ms. Mashlet, please. There we go. So thank you. So just what's new? We're going to talk about that right now. And then also we're going to just a reminder. So just what's new in terms of this simultaneous culture. So you have simultaneous learning, and we also have simultaneous culture. So we're going to talk about that really quickly and then get into reminders, and then I bid you adieu, Mrs. Yemba. Who's clicking? Thank you. So we started off last year with the virtual model. As we continue to progress back to some form of normalcy, we are now in a hybrid model. So again, that model is what we're going to talk about more today. You already know about virtual, so we're going to have some reminders, but we're going to give you some of the nuances for culture when it comes to hybrid. Next slide, please. Thank you. Awesome. So in the building flow, so I'm going to talk about, again, what's happening in the building from morning entry to dismissal to lunches, transitions, use of bathrooms, getting water, masks, rewards, possible consequences depending upon any issues, and so forth. Thank you, Mr. Yamba. Next one. All right, so first and foremost, safety, right? Safety, big deal, right? So right now we are COVID-free at LenFest. No tests, no positive tests since the school year started so far. We've been rocking and rolling. We want to continue that trend being Len. Again, we are Len First, Len Fest, and Len Best. Again, the first campus, if you didn't know that, we are the first campus of all the Mastery campuses. So we like, take that seat at the, on top of the mantle. So again, safety first. So we're gonna make sure we wear our masks. We're gonna wash our hands. We're gonna use hand sanitizer. And again, if you need it, we have it for you. So make sure that you are doing these things to keep yourself safe, your family safe, as well as us in the building. So we thank you in advance for that. Continue to do so. Mr. Yem, next slide, there we go. So going, morning entry. We have a new thing now. So when we come in the building, again, you'll line up outside in the courtyard, not in the box. Again, the box is too small to have everyone lined up, so you'll be in the courtyard. Ms. Hinton and school nurses will be outside, making sure that you have your mask, laptops ready to go, and addressing any issues that you may have regarding your needs in terms of, again, laptop, mask, things such as that, temperature checks, and so forth. There are no lockers, cannot use lockers. That's why Ms. Kelly, shout out to Ms. Kelly, mentioned, the book bags. Again, make sure you have a bag of some sort. And again, if you do not have so, Ms. Mashlet will try our best to provide that for you. Again, we have some extras that are available for you then. Again, but you want to carry all your belongings and be prepared. You'll be, again, going through your morning entry routine outside in the courtyard. There'll be stanchions. that you're becoming nice signs and a lot of little cheering and good time. You go up the north stairwell. The north stairwell is closest to the elevator. So the elevator is the north side of the building. The opposite side of the elevator is the south side of the building. So we're going up north and we're going down south. So again, we will only go up the north stairwell and we use the south stairwell to go down, again, to avoid any people passing and make sure that we are staying safe when we do enter and exit the building or go up and down stairwells. Again, at dismissal, about 5 minutes before dismissal, same as classes, teacher's gonna ask you to get yourself together, wipe your seats, your table down, prepare to leave the building, and then a teacher will escort you down the south stairwell, out to the courtyard, we'll high five, or I'm sorry, we'll elbow, wave, and then you'll go on about your day, and we'll see you on the following day if you are A or B day student, depending upon your day. All right, so again, your dean will be on your floor as well, and the dean will dismiss you by class and then have you out the building. Next slide, please. Awesome. Again, we got the safety first, got the mask on. So transitions, when we're in the hallway, we miss each other. We want to say hi, we want to hug, but right now, under the circumstances of our country now, in this climate, we are not able to do that. So when the bell rings, we are going straight to our classes. Your teachers will call you out about 3 minutes before, and they'll start not lining you up, but they'll call 3 at a time, 2 at a time, and get you in this good steady flow to go to your next class. Again, we're still gonna have a good time. We're still going to make sure we enjoy our transition. There are arrows on the floor of every floor. So when you walk down the hallway, we are staying to the right, almost like driving a car. So for those of you, all the middle school students don't drive yet, this is going to be your first opportunity to learn how to drive with your feet. So you're driving down the hallway, stay to the right, stay to the right, stay to the right. Again, wave at each other, elbow, hey, good to see you. I haven't seen you in the neighborhood. Good to see you in school. Hey, Miss Morgan, good to see you. Hey, Mrs. Yumba. And then you go into class. All right, staying to the right though. So again, classroom entry, the teacher who has you will be waiting for you in the room. You'll walk right on into your assigned seat, or if there are assigned seats, and then stay socially distanced, keep your mask on, get your books ready, and go through your classroom expectations given to you by your teacher. So your teachers will all have expectations for you in the room. So I look forward to find out what those are. But once you walk in, get yourself started. Teachers who are not teaching will also support in the hallways and give you a wave and hello and so forth. Classroom dismissal, you heard it again 5 minutes before. Again, cleaning, make sure that we're safe, sanitized, and ready to rock and roll. Next slide, please. Bathroom water. So I'm thirsty. I want to need some water. Hey, Miss Dean, can I get some water? Miss Dean said, absolutely, no problem. Of course you get some water. Miss Dean will reach out to Miss Hinton or Miss Stanton. They'll either say, send her out to the, send he or she out to me, and then you'll get some water in the hallway because the deans will be in the hallway, or the dean will come get you directly, and you'll walk and talk and go get some water or go to the bathroom and go from there. We want to avoid, groups. So again, we'll at one at a time going to the bathroom, and again, we will not be congregating in the bathroom stalls or hanging out in any way, shape, or form. All right. Lunch. So lunch is, again, you'll go into the cafeteria for your lunch. You'll go down the south stairwell. Teachers will bring you down, or an assigned adult will bring you downstairs. Again, the non-grade dean the deans will be in the cafeteria waiting for you, and your deans will be on your floor helping you come on out the classrooms and come on down. And again, that's an easy, smooth transition down south stairwell, staying to the right, and going into the cafeteria. Again, not touching each other, not touching things, and make sure that we're safe. Sanitize your hands. Have a great, enjoyable, tasty lunch. We have hot lunch still, so it's a good thing. We have very good food and very good cafeteria staff members who are old chefs. So we have some chefs in here that will be making some lovely vittles for you during the day. And some of you have had tasted them before, so some of my 8th graders know that hot meal is like. Lunch dismissal, same routine. The deans will dismiss you. Teachers that your classes you're going to, that teacher will come pick you up and take you on to your class, and you'll be seeing us in 2 days and enjoy the day and then finish off your afternoon. Next slide, please. Bop, bop, bop. Safety first again. So as much love as we have and would love to control all the variables in the world, we cannot do so. But I can give you some tips on making sure that you stay safe as you're riding the train, riding SEPTA, riding the bus, whatever it may be. Stay in groups, like, if you're in a train, stay in groups, stay together, 6 feet, of course, socially distanced, but in a group. Wear your mask. Pay attention to your surroundings, what's going on, because there's some people on the train who are not as nice as we are here at Lenfest, and we have to recognize and understand that. But if an issue, contact your parent before you get on. If your parent didn't walk you to the train station or bus stop, and contact your parent when you get off. Hey, mom, hey, dad, hey, grandmom, have you. I made it to school safely, got my mask on. I'm going to learn. Talk to you soon. When I come out of here, my brain's gonna be full of information as I head home. Next slide, please. Trans passes. So Morgan, Ms. Marshall, let the pop in real quick regarding trans passes. Ms. Morgan, hop on.
Totally. Hi again. So for trans passes, same protocol as last year, but if you're new, if you're a 7th grader, you will get them on your first day. So you need to figure out a way to get yourself to LenFest, but then moving forward, you will receive your trans passes. For this first day, you'll get it either Tuesday or Wednesday, and then moving forward, you'll get them on Fridays for the following week.
Awesome. Thank you, Ms. Morgan. Next slide. So attendance. Woo! Trans pass attendance. I want to be honest, right? You got to log on. You're still clicking. You're still submitting work. Going to Schoology. You're still following those virtual norms that were given to you before we went into COVID, as well as coming to school as well. So your attendance will still be tracked by you submitting and doing work. So you can come into the building, but you're still doing work in your classrooms. All right. So you're still rocking out on your computer. That is your tracking of attendance. If you're not coming to school, again, we have to figure out why. Ms. Tyler will reach out to you. Your dean will reach out to you. Teachers will reach out to you to make sure, because something could have happened. We understand that. But again, attendance matters. All right. So you can still have truancy for not coming to school virtually as well, or in the hybrid world. So let's be mindful. Attendance matters. Schools, if our school building's open, we expect to see your lovely faces in those computers or at those desks, depending upon your choice, hybrid or not. Next slide, please. Awesome. So this, again, these are your team. These are the deans. I mentioned their names. Again, I'm the APSC. Ms. Hinton is 7th, 8th grade. Mr. Lay, Mr. Beverly, 2nd and 3rd floor. Ms. Stanton is also supporting. Again, Ms. Tyler. If parents, if you want to take a couple of seconds, take that number down for attendance concerns. So again, your child's out today. You got a dentist appointment. It's a half. You got to leave for half the day and come back. Again, take that number down. Reach out to Ms. Tyler, and she can also let the grade teams know what's happening regarding you and attendance, because we don't want to have any attendance issues for students missing consecutive days or multiple days of school. Next slide, please. Reminders. So we want to talk about things, again, the elephant in the room. We still have to address behaviors again. So if you're doing the right thing, you're going to get rewarded. If you're not doing the right thing, there's a redirection. There's some type of warning. And unfortunately, there might be a consequence as well in terms of an infraction. Level 1 stuff is things that happen pretty much in the classroom, minor issues, things that teachers can manage themselves without a dean intervention. But even while we're in those classrooms and even in infractions, we're still staying safe, still have social distance, still have masks on, and still being clean, excuse me. Next slide, please. If it goes beyond the classroom and the teacher has to reach out to your parents, reach out to a dean, this may become a level 2 or some type of teacher support. So what is a level 2? The safety of the class is a concern, or the classroom stop learning. Teachers can't teach because of your behavior in the room or via Zoom. And if that's the case, again, the dean will intervene, provide some redirection, some next steps, some restorative actions, and then go on. And hopefully you can bring yourself back together and continue your day. In the ideal world, we don't have level 2s or level 1s. We just coming to school, having a great time learning, but we do know sometimes we come kind of get off our path. We have to be addressed. Next slide, please. Electronic free. So you have a lot of electronics. So there's no need for cell phones. Headphones, again, will be allowed in the cafeteria. So you'll use those in the cafeteria, but in terms of cell phone usage and things such as that, again, we will not be using cell phones, just as if we were in the building in the past. If there's an issue or that you need or something going on with the teacher, you let the dean know or let us know, and we'll address that concern accordingly. Again, with this electronic free zone. All right, next slide. Zoom bombing incident. So we've had some very minor ones, thank goodness, and the teachers have done an amazing job of being diligent in their classroom settings with breakout rooms or waiting rooms. There's certain expectations for you that still exist in terms of making sure your cameras are on. If you're in the cafeteria and you're with the teacher on Zoom and you're logged onto the right space in Schoology, you're not doing things that you shouldn't be doing on your laptop. And again, we make sure that we are monitoring and managing Zoom bombing as well. And if you know students, if you know somebody that's doing Zoom bombing, you should let your dean know. Quiet is kept. And again, that's privacy, that's private, but we want to make sure we're not having students come in our spaces who are not mastery students or who just want to be disruptive. Again, we don't want that to happen. And that happens at all levels, school and professional settings. But we at LendFest want to make sure that we address Zoom bombing as quickly and urgently as possible. Next slide, please. All right, uniform. So when you come to school, students, when you come to school on Tuesday, yes, Tuesday and Wednesday, you'll be first given shirt from us. No need to purchase it. We'll be giving you a shirt to make sure that you are rocking and rolling and prepared and looking as dapper, and your drip, your LendFest drip is going to be on. You're going to be rocking and looking quite awesome. If there's a uniform issue after that, Mr. Lay will be in the courtyard and Mr. Lay will address you regarding your uniform and how you need. So you'll have some free drip, and you can purchase more drip after that from Mr. Lay in the courtyard as well, if you would like to purchase drip also. Again, I think shoe shirts are $10, Mr. Lay, correct? Thumbs up, Mr. Lay, $10 school shirts. You can purchase them from Mr. Lay, but again, you will receive free drip to start off. Middle school, you have the navy blue shirts as you see to the left, 7th, 8th grade, 9th through 12th have the gray shirts. So you middle school is like, yeah, I'm gonna be a gray shirt soon. We're excited and hoping that you'll be a gray shirt, you 8th graders, when it comes time. But as of right now, 7th, 8th grade, you are navy blue shirts that we have ready for you to put on Tuesday if you don't have one right now. And you wear a uniform shirt every single day. We dress appropriately, proper shoes, proper leg wear, and so forth. Mr. Zimmer, next slide.
Mr. Zimmer, or Mr. Davidson, question.
Yes,
If I don't have my uniform shirt that first day, should I come to school?
Absolutely. Please do.
Great.
We're looking forward to seeing you. Don't stay away from your shirts. We got shirts for you. Come on in. All right.
Perfect.
Oh, shoes. You see all these shoes in this picture are nice. Look at that. You see that drip, right, Lizzie? You see that drip on there, Lizzie? Right? But you can't come with open toed flip flops and sandals and that kind of stuff. All right, we're not going to the beach. You're coming to school, so you got to dress appropriately. I know the weather's breaking a little bit. We want to throw on those little Ugg slippers and those. Nope, can't do it. Want to put on the flip flops? Nope, can't do it. Gonna get our manicure. Want to see our toes done? Nope, can't do it. Got to have your shoes covered, heels and toes. Want to dress safe. Again, want to keep our feet covered and be safe when we come in the building. All right.
Mr. Davidson, can we wear Crocs?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
No, at all. No Crocs at all. Thank you very much. So I'm gonna go back. Oh, next slide. Ms. Hinton, can you talk about restorative real quick, Ms. Hinton?
I sure can. All right. So basically, restoratives are your opportunity to resolve an issue between you and someone else. The reality is that we would love to have everybody have a great day all the time, but that doesn't always happen. So the restoratives can go from student to student, student to teacher, student, parent, teacher, whatever the situation may be. I'll touch base with all of the parties that are involved, find out their side of the story, see what's really going on, bring all of the people that need to be brought together in a space that is socially distanced. So it's going to look a little different than last year. And then we get an opportunity to talk about what actually happened, how it was perceived by each party, what the harm really was, and what does each party feel needs to do to repair the harm. If it's a student to teacher situation where your behavior impacted the classroom, then we will talk about what is the logical consequence for that behavior and then figure out how to restore that relationship. Even though there is a logical consequence, the goal is to make sure that the repair in that relationship has been restored so that you can continue on throughout the rest of the year without holding grudges, without being mad at each other, and without feeling some kind of way.
Thank you, Ms. Hinton. Ms. Stanton, can you talk about zones? Because before we even get to a restorative, let's talk about the zones that will stop us from getting there. Go, Ms. Stanton.
Hi, everyone. So zones is just a way of teaching students how to self-regulate in the moment without becoming upset, teaching them ways to verbally express themselves in a positive manner opposed to exploding in a negative manner. Students are usually selected due to behavior or ongoing problems in the classrooms, and they're referred to the zones program. We have at least 10 to 12 students in the zones program at once. We meet once a week. I do meet with the students on a one-on-one basis 2 times a week. I call parents. Some parents I call weekly, some parents I call bi-weekly, just to give them progress on their students. We do videos. Since we've been virtual, we've been working on video projects, learning how to express ourselves, our needs in the moment, learning how to accept challenges and changes that go on in daily school life. And it's a good program.
Thank you, Miss Stanton. Mr. Beverly, let's talk about making it rain so they can buy more drip.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you do not know what Kickboard is at this point in time, that means you have not been at LimFest this year. You have not been logging on because all of your teachers have discussed Kickboard with you. This is the way that we reward students. You go to class, you do what you're supposed to do. They give you Kickboard dollars, and then in turn, you are allowed to shop on our online store, Kickboard store, and I also will have things in the building. So do what you're supposed to do, and your teachers will make sure they reward you.
Thank you, Mr. Beverly. Next slide, Mr. And Mr. Beverly's mentioned the LimFest is on store, so you have an ordering store and you got an online store, so you guys are getting like both ways. So hybrid people who come into the building, you can get stuff in hand or you can get it delivered to your house. Those of you at home, you can still get it delivered, delivered to your house. Next one. So with that being said, I thank you. I look forward to seeing you. Let's have an amazing end of our school year because it's coming, winding down. But again, this is the time to really go hard. Benchmarks are on their way up. RP3 is coming to an end soon. RP4 will be around the corner. This is the time to rock it out and really, really push yourselves to be successful. But the most important, again, safety first. Wear your mask, hand sanitize, wash your hands, and stay socially distanced. And again, if any questions or concerns you may have, please feel free to reach out to members of my team and I or your teachers. Have an amazing weekend. Have a great day. Take care, everyone. Any questions? And I answered some questions in the chat. I think Mr. Lay did as well. So any other questions?
I also want to thank everyone for coming out today. Really appreciate the participation. One thing, there were a couple students in 7th grade that were on both the A-B lists. We will give those students a call in terms of clarifying. Only a couple students, so we'll make sure to support. 8th grade lists are fine. And if there are any other questions, we're happy to answer them. Otherwise, we're going to go on with the rest of our Friday. Students, you still have asynchronous work, so please make sure you're logging on and completing those assignments today. Very important.